Do you avoid lying on your stomach because of pain in your low back or SI joint? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you some exercises that can help you move in the right direction of getting over this for good, even if you have some spinal disc issues. Now, this video is for you if you avoid lying on your stomach whenever you can. When exercising, you can't lie on the beach to tan your back without feeling like you got tasered in the back when you stand up. You won't lay on your stomach in bed because doing so has led to, at best, stiff and soreness, and at worst, nearly being immobilized in the morning. That's if you can even get into that position at all. And side note, you may have heard that's because of a bad mattress. Get a new one, you'll be fine. One thing is true. I like firm mattresses. Your back would feel better. One misconception, the health of your actual back will be better. And the truth is, if you're at a point where this causes pain, this indicates your body has forgotten the components that would allow you to be in this position, a perfectly capable human position to be in. A new mattress can help your symptom, but not the deeper problem, which, back to the point, can get to a point where even thinking about being on the stomach can cause a lot of fear flaring up that pain. Well, my name is Justin Budfalowski. I'm the founder of Symmetry of Motion, and I know this fear because I dealt with the same thing for years, on top of herniating multiple discs in my back. Some specialists told me not to lie on my stomach, which I avoided for a while. But as a physically active personal trainer at the time, I said, forget this, especially after I got to the point where I nearly paralyzed myself on the beach just lying on my stomach for too long. I said enough is enough. I have to fix this, which I did, and I did it by retraining my body to be able to do the things required for a human body to lay on its stomach, because your spine is designed to do this. And if you don't do what your spine is designed to do, it only leads to more other problems. So if I could do this, you can too, and I've helped many other people do the same. So today I'm gonna walk you through a few exercises to help with this. And take note, they are done in what I call a sequence, which is significantly more impactful when you do each exercise in this order, one after the next, which I'll explain more as we get into it. Let's get to it. First things first, if your upper back doesn't flex or extend very well, or your shoulders don't move very well, then that job gets pushed onto your low back instead to make up for it. So the very first thing we need to do is mobilize that upper back. We'll start with some elbow curls by tipping the tops of the fingers to the tops of the palms, knuckles up to the temples, and you're gonna bring your elbows all the way together and then open them all the way as far back as you can go. We're gonna continue doing this for 25 repetitions as we start freeing up the shoulders and the back. Next, if you can find yourself a chair or an object that you can lie down with your legs at a 90-degree angle, it cannot be less or higher. You're gonna relax your body completely in this position. Wait anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes until your entire body settles down to the floor. It's gonna relax the muscles in your low back, help to level out your pelvis, get even more extension in that upper back. Once it settles, you're gonna clasp your arms together, lock your elbows tight. You're gonna allow your arms to move back towards the floor. Don't let your elbows bend, don't force it down, but you're gonna go up and down between these 2 points. This helps a little bit with what's going on above the back. That's gonna open space for us to address some of the things below the lower back, where if you have imbalances in the muscles of your hips and your pelvis, that responsibility also gets shoved up to the low back. So one thing you could do while you're in this position is take a block or a firm object, put it in between the knees, and while you're relaxed here, lightly squeeze this block on and off. Do this lightly. If you do it too hard, the muscles that are working too much are only going to take over. This is not so much a strength exercise as it is a calibration exercise to get the muscles to talk to each other. This has a chain reaction that takes place all the way up through the spine as we create a better support down below. In a more advanced position, you can take that block, put it between your knees while you sit, and then very gently shift one knee forward while you shift the other knee back, while you continue to have a light pressure on the block. When I do this, I feel on the leg that shifts back, muscles work on the inside of the hip, and on the leg that goes forward, I feel muscles on the outside of the hip work. only go where there's no pain. I'll shift and go back the other direction. Try to keep my sit bones as level as possible. I'm not slouching, I'm sitting up straight, and I shift back and forth very lightly, making sure that I get that muscle activation. And this is gonna create more stability and range of motion in the pelvis, which translates into that low back. This can help us with some of the imbalances from left to right. The next sticking point is our hips' ability to move forward and backwards. When we lose that ability for the hip to be able to move forward and backwards, what ends up happening, again, the low back gets involved. So what I'm gonna do is take something soft, put it under my knee for a little bit of support. I'm gonna make sure that that same leg can get my foot touching a wall. And then I'm gonna bring the other leg forward. This looks very similar to a hip stretch, but instead of just shifting my weight forward, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually push back, like I'm pressing the gas pedal on a car. I'm gonna push that back foot into the wall. It's gonna ask muscles in my calf, my hamstring, and my glute to work a little bit. At the start, it can be just this. I can hold in this position. As I get more comfortable, as long as I can feel these, and I don't push very hard. The harder you push, the easier it is for things to compensate and get in the way. So I'm gonna do this lightly until eventually I start to notice some engagement in these muscles. And then from there, I can shift forward just a little bit and back. Shift forward a little bit and back. All the while I'm pushing on that back foot. What you're trying to look out for is allowing the low back to go into this really significant arch right here. As I just sit into this position, I want to try to maintain a relatively neutral pelvis and spine position. I'm not really tucking under like this, trying to flatten everything, but I'm just not going to let it go out of control. Then you can switch sides and repeat on the other side. And then last but not least, we're gonna put all of these things that we just did together. Getting onto the hands and the knees, we're gonna move all parts of the spine from the pelvis up to the head. We start at the pelvis. We're gonna let the pelvis tuck underneath using my abdominals very lightly, and I'm using some of the muscles of the glutes on the back side. I'm just moving at the pelvis. I'm gonna start rounding the back one vertebra at a time from the low part to the middle to the upper. I'm gonna allow my shoulder blades to separate from each other. My head goes down. And then once I'm here, I keep my head down and I start to go the opposite direction with the pelvis leading the way. As I tip my pelvis forward, I use the hip flexors in the front of the hips. These muscles here, I wanna feel them working, and you might not feel them at first. That's okay, eventually they'll get there. I do this very easy, and I'm actually moving my pelvis into extension. Again, my head is down. Then one by one, I'm starting to arch the rest of my back. My shoulder blades collapse together, and my head goes up. Imagine moving in 3 parts: pelvis, back, and shoulders, and then head, pelvis, back, and shoulders. Come down, making sure that your elbows stay locked, and then head. So there you go. Try this exercise sequence for a few days and see if you can start noticing the difference in how it feels to actually lie on your stomach. And if at best this provides some relief and doesn't fix things entirely, that's okay. Every person is different, is unique. This sequence came from the SOM Online Program, which is the program I created where you actually go through sequences like this. And of course, they change and adjust according to what it is that you need. And we guide you through that process in the program. You can do this to restore the lost function in your body, bring it back to balance. And as a byproduct, break free from this cycle of pain so you can really move freely and with confidence so you can do the things that you love. And you're more than welcome to check out that program. The link I'll put down below in the notes. And if you know somebody who may benefit from this video, please share this with them. Hopefully they can find some relief and get some value out of it too. Be sure to like the video and even comment below if you want to see more content like this. And subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified when I do post more things. All right, thanks so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.